opportunities Alejandra says you rarely see given to other gay men in Mexico.
They coach because they can't ride, unfortunately. But here with Tyler, we're giving him the opportunity to do whatever he wants with us.
In this arena, many rules are followed, but others are broken to expand representation.
It doesn't matter what gender you are. The only thing that matters is your riding skill.
In Des Moines, Iowa, I'm Jessie Cohen reporting.
Jesse, thank you for that report. Well, that's going to do it for us today. I'm Michelle London. Denver 7 News at 5 starts right now.
And right now we are following breaking news on Denver 7 News at 5 o'clock, and you can see Air Tracker 7. We're going to show you this live picture of Air Tracker 7 over a large police presence in Broomfield. You can see as we get closer in with this picture that there is police tape around a huge area. Here's what we know right now. A Denver police officer with the department's fugitive unit has been shot. We do know that officer was taken to a local hospital. Again, that Denver officer's condition is unknown at this time. What led up to that shooting, we do not know those details right now. We did hear from one witness who told one of our crews out there that a woman was arrested. That is not confirmed yet. Also, another witness told us that he heard several shots fired near Calvary Church.
Broomfield police say that one suspect is dead, and we do know that a PIO is on scene, but we don't know when they'll hold a news conference and give us new information. Now, this is near Sheridan and Midway, and all of the streets surrounding this intersection are closed to traffic right now. We have several crews in the area working to get more information, and we'll bring you updates as we learn them.
And clearly this is a developing story we will continue to follow all night long right here on Denver 7.
We'll have updates during the newscast, Denver 7 News at 6, as well as on denver7.com.
And now to Hurricane Ian. Pure devastation across Florida tonight from that hurricane. In Fort Myers Beach, which is a popular spring break destination, buildings were flattened and debris thrown all over the beach.
The images are just devastating. President Biden approved federal disaster relief for the state today.
Many neighborhoods still look like this tonight, submerged underwater from that storm surge that reached 12 feet. Ian, which is back to hurricane strength tonight, is also causing flooding on the East Coast, as well as in places like St. Augustine.
At least 15 people are confirmed dead, but that number is expected to rise.
And Florida officials say search teams have rescued at least 500 people. Sanibel Island, west of Fort Myers, it was among the hardest hit.
The Sanibel Causeway, which is the only way in and out of the barrier island, collapsed in areas. You were just looking at that. And this is a time lapse from Sanibel Island showing how fast water levels rose in just 30 minutes.
ABC's Gloria Pazmino is in Fort Myers with a look at the destruction.
There's really no words that I can say to tell you what I've seen. The Fort Myers Beach area, buildings, major homes and buildings completely washed away with vehicles in the water, vehicles in the bay, boats are upside down.
Tied as the fourth most powerful hurricane to hit the Sunshine State, Ian blasted ashore Wednesday, just shy of a Category 5 storm.
The amount of water that's been rising and will likely continue to rise today, even as the storm is passing, is basically a 500-year flood event.
Residents now getting their first glimpse at the scope of the damage.
Very flooded, it's ruined, completely ruined. The fridge is on the floor, the couches are turned upside down, the toilets are on the floor.
Many residents still trapped in their homes.
You kind of find yourself in a position where you're totally powerless.
With dozens of houses still underwater, search and rescues are now underway.
We currently have aircraft in the air with the Florida National Guard actively pulling people off of roofs in Fort Myers.
And as Ian continues its destructive march across Florida, parts of the East Coast are getting pummeled.
This is my community, this is my home. It's not only for my pain, it's for everybody's pain. I'm terrified for everybody. It's not only all our trailers, it's half of Cape Coral, it's half of everywhere.
In Fort Myers, I'm Gloria Pasmino reporting.
And Colorado is sending an emergency operations center support team to Florida. It's made up of 13 public safety professionals from across our state. And once that team is in Florida, they will help distribute supplies over the next 14 days. Xcel utility crews from Colorado are also on their way to help restore power. And Colorado Red Cross volunteers have been in Florida since Sunday. Now, you can donate to the Red Cross if you'd like to help people impacted by Hurricane Ian. The Red Cross, as you know, will provide shelter, food, and other supplies. And you can learn more by visiting redcross.org.
Ian right now is over the Atlantic and is expected to turn and make landfall again in South Carolina tomorrow. Now, people in Georgia and the Carolinas are preparing for the storm. Storm watches and warnings have been issued, and states of emergencies are in effect as far north as Virginia. Remnants of Ian are expected to hit the North Carolina-Virginia border by the weekend and will head out to sea around Tuesday.
And Chief Meteorologist Mike Nelson joins us now with more on this track. Ian's been busy, Mike.
I'll tell you, that storm is back to hurricane strength, as you mentioned, partly because it's out over warm waters again. The Gulf Stream is very close to where it's located right at the moment, so it's just a heavy band of rain right along the shore from Jacksonville down to Daytona Beach and extending up into southeastern Georgia. As far as the track, what's going to happen next, this Category 1 storm will come in probably a little bit north of Charleston, South Carolina. Heavy storm surge expected along the Carolina coast. Very heavy rains battering all the way up into North Carolina. Then it'll move on up into the southern Appalachian Mountains with very heavy rainfall there and potentially catastrophic flooding as well. 5 to 20 inches of rain, a good possibility in this area as that storm continues to push onshore. It will gradually weaken, but it has so much power and so much moisture, it's still going to be a devastating storm. Now back here, we have some rain coming our way. It's nothing like that, but there's a cold front approaching. Scattered showers and thunderstorms are already developing across the state. As the front comes in, say goodbye to the 80s to near 90, a much cooler weather pattern coming our way heading into the weekend.
Thank you, Mike. And remember, you can get 24/7 Colorado weather updates and live radar on your TV. Just download the Denver 7 Plus app on your favorite streaming device.
Erie police are asking the community for information about a possible attempted abduction last Thursday near the Latitude neighborhood. Police say a 9-year-old girl took this photo of this white Honda Civic, and it's missing its front bumper. And she told police that people inside were trying to get her to go with them. And the girl ran away and told her dad, and her dad followed the car and called police, but they were able to get away.
Denver police need help finding this suspect wanted for attacking and robbing a man who was putting groceries in his car. This happened at the King Soopers off Monaco back on September 10th. Police say the suspect took a bag from the victim, then ran to his car. The victim was then knocked over by the car when he tried to get his belongings back. If you recognize this man or the car, call Metro Denver Crime Stoppers.
Activists and environmentalist groups fighting fracking made their arguments in a Denver federal courtroom today. They are calling for the court to reverse 370 oil and gas fracking permits in northwestern New Mexico that were approved during the last presidential administration.
Denver 7's Micah Smith spoke to indigenous leaders who say they're fighting for their lives and ancestral land.
So we traveled from Farmington, New Mexico to come to this court.
Samuel Sage never thought a fight over land would wind up in court.
We traveled about over 400 miles to get here.
Miles traveled for a fight started years ago over drilling in the Chaco region of northwestern New Mexico.
We're fighting Goliath.
A few years ago, the Trump administration approved 370 permits for oil and gas drilling on native lands there. The Biden administration upheld that decision, and in response, activists like Mario Atencio filed suit to block the permits.
We're going up against $100 billion corporations, and we're a small organization, grassroots. Of course, it's an uphill battle. But we have justice on our side.
The drilling helps fuel cars, light homes, and provide heat during Colorado's cold winters. But those living on ancestral lands near the source of this fuel.
If you're there, you will experience, you'll feel it, you'll see it.
Say it is slowly killing them.
Every day we get complaints from community people that they're experiencing some kind of health symptoms.
They want the drilling to stop and their land to be restored.
See, my late father is Andy Sage, a U.S. Marine Corps Navajo Code talker. He said you pick up arms when you're
Government tells you to go to war for them and protect the country. When you come back, little did he know that he has to fight the same country to protect his homeland.
The decision is now in the hands of a 3-judge panel. What they decide will have a huge impact on the future of energy production, this land, and the people who have lived there for generations. Reporting in Denver, Micah Smith, Denver 7.
And we are continuing to follow breaking news out of Broomfield, where a Denver police officer has been shot. This happened near Sheridan and Midway.
We know that officer has been taken to the hospital, but we do not know their condition. We just learned police will hold a press conference at 5:30. Our team is continuing to gather new information. We'll be back after this break.